thank you for taking the time to listen to this short video presentation. Its aim is to give you an overview of a research project being conducted by staff at both the University of Manchester and St Mary's SARC, funded by the Violence, Abuse and Mental Health Network, with the hope of getting your help in recruiting participants to take part. The long-term aim of the project is to gain a greater understanding of the long-term support needs of adult sexual assault survivors, so that a case can be made to create services that help meet those long-term needs. This is the long-term aim of the research, though at this stage we are simply trying to create a questionnaire that can be used to assess these long-term needs. In other words, a survey that would be administered to survivors so they can tell us what would be helpful to them. The questionnaire has already been designed by the research team, and I will show you parts of it shortly. What we want to do now is test or pilot this questionnaire on around 50 of St Mary's SARC clients. This is a really important stage of the research to help us iron out any issues that there might be with the questionnaire before it is rolled out on a much larger sample. We have designed the questionnaire to the best of our ability, but only by victims themselves trying to complete it will some of the potential issues with it become visible. Before I talk you through the questionnaire, let me introduce you very briefly to the research team so you can have more of an idea of who we are. So beginning on the far left is Professor David Gadd, who is a criminologist at the University of Manchester and is leading on the project. We then have Dr. Rabia Majid-Aris, a researcher based at St Mary's SARC. Dr. Maria Pampaka is a senior lecturer in social statistics at the university. She will be the one analysing the data that we collect. Then there is myself, Laura Watt. I'm a social researcher at the university. And finally, Dr. Filippo Vares, who is a psychologist there. So you can see we have a nice mix of expertise within the research team, which has been incredibly useful in getting us this far. So the questionnaire that we designed is online, though if necessary, hard copies can be made available to those who have no access to the internet. It can be completed on a phone, tablet or computer, so we hope the vast majority of respondents will complete it online. It should take about 20 minutes to finish, though participants will do it in their own time so they can take as long as they want or need. We don't expect them to do it for free. We value people's time, and so on completion of the questionnaire, they will be offered a £20 shopping voucher as reward. The questionnaire consists mainly of tick box questions, meaning they are given a set of answers and they just choose one or several from among them. There are a couple of exceptions to this where they can write or rather type a response if they want, but these answers are optional, only if they want to give more detail. We don't expect long answers anywhere in the survey, which should make it simpler to complete. The questionnaire is divided into 3 sections, which I will talk you through briefly now. So the first section asks participants very general questions about themselves. I'm just showing you a small sample of these questions here. There are lots more. They include questions about their relationship status, whether they have children, their level of education, their income, employment status, etc. The second section asks them about the type of support they accessed as a result of the sexual assault they experienced and reported to St Mary's SARC. Just as a side point on this, we are aware that some of the victims you work with will have experienced potentially countless acts of assault. But to make the results we gather from different participants consistent, the questionnaire asks them to focus on the specific assault which they came to St Mary's SARC about at their most recent visit. In terms of support accessed, we list various public services and then also potential sources of personal support such as family and friends. This section then asks them what forms of support would help them now or in the near future. The third and final section of the questionnaire asks them about their well-being. Again, I'm only showing you a couple of examples here of the questions that are included. In this section, they're first asked how the assault they reported to St Mary's SARC has impacted their well-being. So if we look at question 1, it asks how much they fear being assaulted again, or how much they are avoiding their friends because of the assault they experienced. And second, in this section, we ask them some more general well-being questions that are not directly linked to the assault they reported. These are not questions that we wrote, but are widely accepted measures of stress and depression that you might have seen elsewhere. So as I mentioned, our hope is to get 50 St Mary's SARC clients to complete this questionnaire. I should say at this stage we are only interested in recruiting those aged 18 and over. And so this is where we need your help. Obviously, we don't come into direct contact with these victims ourselves, and so we're asking you to do that bit of work for us if you are willing. But hopefully, because of the way we have set things up, this won't be too onerous a task. Beginning from Monday the 1st of February, there will be 2 documents about this research project included in the pack that clients are given at the end of their consultation with you. The first of these documents is what we call a participant information sheet, which basically gives an outline of the project, what it's about, and what someone's involvement would look like. The second document is what we call a consent to contact form, which a potential participant signs to tell us they are happy for us to contact them, ideally via email, to take part in the research. So all we are asking you to do, so long as it is appropriate given the nature of the consultation with a particular client, is to mention the study to them so that they know what to look for when they open their information pack. We don't expect you to coerce clients into taking part. It is completely voluntary, but if you could just flag it to them as a way of drawing their attention to it when they see the forms, that would be incredibly helpful. Unless we get respondents at this stage of the project, it won't be able to progress any further, which would be a real shame. So any help you can give us at this stage would be hugely appreciated. And finally, just so you're aware of what happens if someone gives consent to contact, what the research process entails for those who take part. And once they have given their consent to contact form, we will email the client a much more detailed outline of the study, an online link to the questionnaire, and a unique PIN number which they use instead of their name when they are filling in the questionnaire, so that the data we receive is completely anonymous. We have tried our best to make sure that completing the questionnaire won't be distressing for participants. We don't ask them for any detail about the assault they suffered, and we have worked closely with the NHS Ethics Committee to make sure all our protocols minimise risk to participants as much as possible. However, on this point, it is worth noting that at the end of the questionnaire, respondents are given the opportunity to contact one of our research team to discuss their answers further. We don't expect this to be common practice, we're not asking for it. It is just there as an option if someone wants to elaborate on any answer they've given in the questionnaire. If during any of these calls we consider a participant to be at risk, we would refer them back to St Mary's SARC if that was appropriate. Thank you for listening. Hopefully I've given you a brief but comprehensive enough overview of the project so that you understand what it is we are trying to do and what we want from St Mary's SARC clients. To repeat, all we want you to do is mention the study to your clients and direct them to the forms in the client packs at the end of your consultations. If, however, anything I say hasn't been clear or you have any other questions about the project, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me, Dave or Rabia, and we will be more than happy to try and answer them. And thank you in advance for being willing to help with this. We really appreciate it.